Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. God is a God of miracles, and it's so amazing that we were able to meet in God's presence. And every life is a miracle, so we can even think that you are a miracle. Isn't God amazing? And what I want to share with you this morning is just some excerpts about what I felt God speaking to me in relation to writing for Worth the Chase. He says, I have loved you for all eternity, and my love for you will never become any less. Like a fire, my love blazes for you. That's how intense and beautiful God's love is. As we heard yesterday, it's a key aspect of even the convention. Another excerpt from the same part of the book is, no matter what you have done in the past, I love you. I'm waiting for you to come into my presence, to fall to your knees before the Blessed Sacrament, and to receive the bountiful graces I want to lavish upon you. And that's how amazing and beautiful the Holy Eucharist is. And that's why this conference is so tremendous, because we have that opportunity to really celebrate our faith. And it's wonderful because there's so much power in the Holy Eucharist. Even Mother Teresa said that if Catholics adored the Lord in the Holy Eucharist at least 1 hour a week, abortion would stop. There's so much power, and we have such busy lives. It's so hard at times to really make that effort to try to go to the Lord in the Blessed Eucharist, and yet it's so essential, including for us to become more and more like Christ, to have Him really shining in our lives. And that's aspects that we draw out in the book. And God also says, I will always love you. I rejoice in you. Through the sacraments, I live in you, and you in me. That is how passionately I love you. And God's love is so personal and so beautiful. And then God says, I want to give you joy that the world cannot give. My joy lasts even amidst your greatest struggles. And that's the thing, that no matter what we are going through, no matter what pain we are going through, there is always hope. Because God knows us so intimately, and He, as sacred scripture says, that He understands everything that we're going through, because Jesus Christ was human and He experienced everything but did not sin. And that's how awesome God's love is. And I just want to finish my part by sharing my favorite scripture, and that is on hope. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on eagles. On wings like eagles, they will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. And I think we can really be secure in God's love, because we should never give up on God, because He will never, never give up on us. So I now want to pass to my lovely wife, who will talk more about the worth the chase and suffering.
A blessed morning, everyone. And we really thank the Lord for this opportunity to be able to share a love story which God has written. And I want to share with you how God is a God of sense of humor. Because as you can see in the cover of Worth the Chase, there is a man kneeling down asking for a girl's hand in marriage, and also a girl holding a Bible. So God gave me this vision when we were discerning what to put in the cover. And I said to my husband, the Holy Eucharist should be centered on our book, because we met in an adoration chapel. That is where everything started. And so the problem was we couldn't find a picture that we liked to put in the book. So the cover designer said, you should pose for this one. So take a photo of you and Brendan, like acting as if he was proposing to you. And we didn't know then that God's plans behind it is that after a year, he would actually kneel down and ask for my hand in marriage for real. So the cover of the book became a reality, and we didn't know that God was planning that. And also in the video, as you can see, I was really struggling to follow God's call to write a book, because I also suffer from lack of self-worth. Because when I was young, my mom always told me that I'm worth nothing. So those were hurtful words that I kept in my heart. So when I grew up, I believed in a lie that I was worth nothing. So I struggled with, Lord, how can I write a book that will touch hearts when I'm also feeling hopeless, when I'm also feeling down? But then through the encouragement of my friends, they pushed me to really do it, because one of my friends also has a prophetic gift, and she saw a vision of me promoting a book. She went to a Love Life retreat. It's a retreat for singles. And it was amazing because when the person promoting the book was in front, she saw my face, and not the person promoting it. And so she called me and she said, "Elly, God told me you're gonna write a book." And to me it was like, what? How am I gonna do it? I don't know. I don't have any idea how to do it, because I'm not used to writing. My job was far from it. But then through scripture and praying, frequent adoration, I received a scripture that says, each of you should go on living according to God's gift to you, and as you are, as God called you. So that moved my heart to follow God's call. So it was like walking into the great unknown. It was like walking blindfolded on water. But because of God's leading, I gave up the job, though I had fears in my heart about my younger sister, because I'm the one paying for her college education, and I work for the family. So it was really a struggle for me. And after I gave up my job, which was not, we didn't show in the video because we didn't want it to be too long, I actually suffered a lot. Like, I suffered tragic deaths of my loved ones after I gave up the job. And I didn't have a good relationship with my mom, because she couldn't understand why I would give up such a good job just to write a book. And I was also brokenhearted because I dated a man which I knew or met from the church, but after 7 months of dating, he was gone. Like, I didn't know why and how that happened, so I was so broken. And so at that time, I went to the Adoration Chapel, because the Adoration is my place of refuge. It's the place where I find healing, where I really feel the presence of God. And so I told God, Lord, I know that you called me to be your writing, to be your hand, to be your pen. So Lord, I'm gonna ask you a bold prayer now. So I need a writing mentor. And when I opened my eyes, I saw him, and he did a sign of the cross, and I was thinking, it was in the Philippines. So I was thinking, oh, this is the first time I saw a foreign man did a sign of the cross. It's beautiful. And then I just felt in my heart, I just felt in the deepest part of my being, God telling me he is the one. So at the time, I wasn't only praying for a mentor, but also for a love life, since I got brokenhearted. So I was confused. And then God just really revealed his mystery when he approached me with a calling card. And when it said on the card that he is an author, I knew right there and then that it's the perfect answer to my prayer. And so that's when I invited him, and that's where our love story began. And the reason why I have this deep desire to write a book, because I have a lot of friends, or I know a lot of people who seek for my advice, for comfort, because they went through a lot of struggles when it comes to dating, when it comes to self-worth. You know how youth and singles are really struggling to find their place, their own special place in the world, and that they feel that there's so much to give, but they just don't know where to start. And I've also heard women telling me how guys dump them for no reason at all, and all those things, all those hurts, all those, everything that I can see in the world, and also how it really pains me when the secular media or the movies or the TV series portrayed sex outside marriage as romantic and beautiful, and that is not the teaching of the Catholic Church. Because Jesus is chaste, and if we are to follow Jesus, then that includes being chaste. And I also, in the Philippines, I was also given a chance to talk to sexually abused youth, and when I heard their stories, it just really broke my heart on how their own father raped them, or their own brother, because of drugs. So the world is so wounded that my heart is desiring to do something to help. Like, it could be, I don't know how. So that's when God told me, you got to be my pen. You have to write, to open the eyes of my people, that my love and mercy is tremendous, that it is eternal, it is unfailing. So that's when I really felt in my heart that this is really where we belong, that we want to promote purity, we want to promote following Christ, and also adoration of the Holy Eucharist, because it is really powerful. And it wasn't an easy journey. At times, of course, we are tested, and so it really helps us when we receive a book review from our readers. And there's one that I want to read to you, because this one just really made us cry. And she said, I just finished reading this about 10 minutes ago, and I'm one of those customers that never leaves a comment or rating. I have been suffering through depression after a breakup that was not setting a very good Christian example. And she said, there are sections on healing after abortion, single parenthood, loving someone who you know you shouldn't be with. Now I have to go and continue the journey this book has inspired me to take. This book is a godsend. So that really made us cry, how beautifully, because we cannot do it. It is only by God's grace that the book is touching hearts. So for all the parents here, my message is, do not give up on your children. Do not give up on praying for them, and do not give up on loving them and nurturing the talents and skills that they have, and in supporting them. That would be all. Thank you.
And I just want to make an announcement, and that there is confessions upstairs. And to John Porteous and the team, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity. My love blazes for you. That's how intense and beautiful God's love is. As we heard yesterday, it's a key aspect of even the convention. Another excerpt from the same part of the book is, no matter what you have done in the past. It's just some excerpts about what I felt God speaking to me in relation to writing for Worth the Chase. He says, I have loved you for all eternity, and my love for you will never become any less. Like a fire, I love you. I'm waiting for you to come into my presence, to fall to your knees before the Blessed Sacrament, and to receive the bountiful graces I want to lavish upon you. And that's how amazing and beautiful the Holy Eucharist. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. God is a God of miracles, and it's so amazing that we were able to meet in God's presence. And every life is a miracle, so we can even think that you are a miracle. Isn't God amazing? And what I want to share with you this morning is, and that's why this conference is so tremendous, because we have that opportunity to really celebrate our faith. And it's wonderful because there's so much power in the Holy Eucharist. Even Mother Teresa said that if Catholics adored the Lord in the Holy Eucharist,